Trying to find repressed traits to do shadow work can sometimes be the toughest part of your shadow work. We are constantly fighting with our ego mind that we are fine when sometimes we are not. Here is a new way you can find which traits you want to work on, release it, and open your life up to abundance, love, and wealth. Namaste, Sacred Masters. I'm Dr. Aiwas Ukehi, Certified Shadow Work NLP Manifestation Coach. Today, I want to talk to you about new ways you can discover things about yourself. You will see me and other coaches talk about projecting, which is when you catch yourself projecting unwanted emotions or traits you don't like about yourself onto others. But there are other ways, and possibly more subtle ways you can do things that you can catch yourself and not only heal, but release yourself from it. But first, let's talk about what the natural order of this world is. The reason why we should do it is because in order to receive abundance from the universe, we have to vibrate at the same frequency as it. And what is the vibration of the universe? First of all, let's look at one of the common elements that unites us with the universe, the element of water. Our bodies are almost 60% water. Our brain and our heart is 73% water, lungs 83% obviously. The skin is 64% water, muscles and kidneys are 79%, and surprise, even our bones is 31% water. In fact, even the government NASA has found that the percentage of us being water is the same as the earth filled with water. I'll post the link below in the description if you want to read more about it from nasa.gov. When we consider how we are really connected to the universe in a molecular level, we have to look at water's natural state. When you think about water and the word abundance, what do you think? A glass of water? Or the raging beauty of the oceans? That's right. When you think about abundance, you think about moving water. Water in an ever-flowing motions, not in a pond that would bring about more vibrations of peace. The law of nature is that things are always moving. But one thing you might wonder is how when you work so hard on something, nothing is manifesting. Your life isn't getting any better. You're doing your shadow work, but you still find kind of stuck and not know where to go, oftentimes feeling like giving up. If you're trying to aim for something better, let's say your relationship or a new one, if you're aiming for more money, but find yourself struggling to make ends meet, you can take some time to reflect and look at your past actions. Is there something you've been doing over and over again? The same thing? For example, in a relationship, are you merely kissing your spouse in the morning, go to work, come back, make dinner, watch a movie together? Sure, that's a nice life, but you want something better for your relationship, right? Well, if you look at the law of nature and think about abundance and flowing water, realize that by doing the same thing over and over again, nothing will change. If you want abundance, you have to be in an ever-flowing vibration of movement. Merely doing the same thing over and over again will do nothing for you. For money, are you doing the same work day in and day out? Nothing's going to change until you make a forward motion to do something different. Be in a state of constant motion and change. Albert Einstein once said, the definition of insanity is repeating the same mistakes over and over again and expecting different results. You have to break the pattern. Take a look back now and see if there's something in your life you do over and over again. Whether it's a habit, a ritual, or perhaps even a schedule. Ask yourself whether this is an aspect that you want to change. Not everything needs to change. Remember I said earlier that water without constant flowing motion is like a pond? Maybe you love your morning coffee ritual. There's something about it that brings a smile to your face. that's fine then. But if you feel a desire to change the vibrations of anything, such as your money or love situation, identify first what you're doing over and over again and start to change things up. Begin to take this and turn it around. Fall in love with the discovery of new experiences or opportunities. If you're stuck in an endless cycle doing the same thing over and over again, you're not creating any energetic vibrations for the universe to show you more abundance. Now, having a routine can be beneficial, don't get me wrong. It does help us cope with change, create healthy habits, and reduce stress. But habitual behavior creates a pattern of self-protectiveness and familiarity. The trouble is, there is no change. And the universe is constantly changing, filling with infinite abundance. You have to tap into that vibration if you want abundance or remain stuck in your ways. At this point, our need for self-protection and the familiar, which our ego keeps telling us we need, start to hurt us rather than help us. You can find a balance on where you want change and where you like having a routine, schedule, or ritual. It's all up to you. But shadow work is going to go deeper into it. If you find yourself having trouble breaking patterns, this is time to go deeper into your repressed self to find out what needs to be healed, loved, cared, and then integrated with. Suppose your need for self-protection comes from your shadow child being abandoned and left alone. Or perhaps you've been taught at a young age that you need to work hundreds of hours in order to be successful. Those are all teachings and conditioning by society in order to keep you in that hamster wheel. When you work within with your shadow child and find out at what point this becomes ingrained in you, then you can start to heal. During your meditations, bring these feelings into you. Accept it, relive that memory, and then forgive yourself for it. Forgive your shadow child and give it the love that it needs to heal. From here on out, know that another reality exists. It is already here, and you're moving out of your old story into this new universe reality of abundance. Remember, changes don't have to be so drastic. This may make shadow work too intense. Have some patience and learn to do shadow work with a gentle and loving approach to it. Since today we're talking about routines, it's not like you have to quit your job and immediately go start an online business. No, it can be as simple as just taking a new route to work, trying a new restaurant, learning how to cook with your spouse. You could even break things up like not checking your phone the first thing in the morning. As I said before, make changes where it feels good to you, not to force yourself into tense situations filled with worry, fear, and anxiety. Shadow work can be very helpful, but the first thing before you do any shadow work is to always identify where problems are. Oftentimes, we don't see the problem and what's going on in our lives, so we live it like a hamster wheel, as I said before. There are many techniques. One is projecting, which I talked about in this video, that you can also use to identify parts of yourself for shadow work. In my other videos, I'll talk about how to embody and integrate your shadow side to you. But for now, this video is about identifying. Don't be afraid to look into your life to find out its shadow aspects. We know the shadow side is never going away, so why repress it? Make it your friend. If you like this video, hit like, subscribe, and the notification button, where I will keep posting new tips and tools you can use for your shadow work journey. I'll see you soon. Love and light. Namaste.